last year was the first time I ever cooked the entire Thanksgiving dinner on my own. Minus the pumpkin pie, that still came from my mom, Luann, she's the pie master. But out of everything else that I cooked, I believe the winning dish was the stuffing with sweet Italian sausage. Let me show you how I do it. I'm using a rustic sourdough loaf of bread that already came pre-sliced into 1/2-inch slices, and then I've diced it into 1-inch chunks. This is about 20 ounces of bread and fits nicely into a 9x13 baking dish. I'm also using about 1 pound of sweet Italian sausage. This is Uncle Charlie's, a local favorite, but any sweet Italian sausage that you like will do, and it can be loose or in casings. I'm going to remove this sausage from its casing. Along with 2 yellow onions, about 4 ribs of celery, some fresh rosemary and sage, and then some stock and eggs to bind it all together. So I'm sauteing our onions and celery in a stick of butter with a little bit of salt and pepper, and they've been going for about 10 minutes or so. They're getting nice and soft. Not much color, we're not looking for much color here, but since they're approaching the end, I'm also going to add a tablespoon of freshly chopped rosemary and sage, and then take that off the heat, and then start cooking our sausage in the same pan. I've just taken my knife down the side of each sausage link to remove it from its casing, and then I'm breaking it into chunks as I add it to the pan here. When you're browning the sausage, make sure to work it into smaller, more bite-sized pieces, not super large chunks. I'm going to add a little bit of ground fennel to this sausage. I like that flavor. Smells so good. The Italian sausage is really an ode to my late mother-in-law, Sandy, who always kept some good Italian traditions in all of her holiday meals. I'm using 3 cups of stock, 2 cups of chicken stock and 1 cup of turkey stock. I just like that blend, but you could really vary those ratios yourself as long as you have 3 cups. And to that we'll add 2 large eggs. I also like adding to store-bought stock about a teaspoon of gelatin to cold stock. I think it gives it a little more body, and I've already done that to this stock mixture. Okay, let me recap what I've done so far. I took our bread cubes and put them on a sheet pan, tossed them in a 300-degree oven for about 20 minutes just to dry out the crumb, and I tossed them halfway through. I also sauteed our onion and celery in a whole stick of butter, and towards the end I added a tablespoon of fresh rosemary and sage. We also sauteed our sausage until it was browned and added about a teaspoon of ground fennel, and now we've made our stock and egg mixture. So it's time to grab the biggest bowl you have and put it all together. So all of the bread cubes in, our sausage, all of the onions and celery and melted butter, and our stock and egg mixture. Give everything a nice gentle toss to get it coated in the broth and egg mixture and get all of that sausage and all of the vegetables really evenly distributed. All right, don't be too rough. You don't want to rough up those bread cubes. And then I'm coming back to my 13 by 9-inch baking dish here, which I've greased a little bit with butter. This stuffing already smells and looks so good. But from here on out, you could bake it right away, but my recommendation is to actually cover it with foil and refrigerate overnight to let all of the flavors really meld. Okay, after an overnight rest in the fridge to let all those good flavors get together, and it's a good Thanksgiving strategy, I now have our stuffing in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, covered with foil for the first 30 minutes, and then uncover it and bake an additional 20 to 30 minutes until it's nicely browned on top. Well, our sausage stuffing is out of the oven. It looks and smells fantastic, and I cannot wait to dig in. I hope you try making this stuffing with sweet Italian sausage for your Thanksgiving meal or any special festive occasion. And I hope you enjoy.